What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Friday, September 20th. Thursday, in the MLB, guys, things went pretty well. We had the Toronto, Texas, no-run first inning. That was the stump the spread free pick. That one cashed easily. I was also telling everyone in the comments that asked about MLB to go ahead and jump on the Arizona Diamondbacks. That one worked out pretty well, too. A solid win there for Arizona. On the premium side, guys, these were not picks that were given out on YouTube. We went 2-1. Atlanta minus 200. That was a 5-unit premium win, and they won that game 15-3, so absolutely no sweat. We also had the Astros minus 1.5. That was a 3-unit win there, so definitely take that on that 3-1 win. And we had the Rangers. They lost 4-0 in that game, unfortunately, so that was a small loss there on the premium side. But overall, a solid winning day for premium members and across the board for anybody that followed us on Major League Baseball. In terms of the Thursday night football game, it's looking like we are in excellent shape there on that under. That was our main play of the night, and that looks very, very good right now with the game only a single minute left, so it would take some really insane stuff to happen. So the under looking very, very good. We also hit on the Jets having to punt there on their first drive. That one came through pretty easily. The game itself didn't play out exactly how we were thinking. There were a lot of late injury news that came out, so yeah, ended up getting a little bit unlucky there. That running prop on Ramondre Stevenson getting over 16.5 carries, that one did not come through. But generally speaking, a pretty good night out there, guys. Before we jump into the games for today, hit that like button to give the channel a little boost and keep me motivated to make these videos every single day. If you're new around here or haven't already, subscribe to the channel for free so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. You can also now sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Members get exclusive early access to all NFL and college football videos and get their names up on the screen just like right now. I really appreciate the support from all of you. Seeing that badge next to your comments absolutely warms my heart. Our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. We have a team of experienced cappers over there for every major sport, currently covering MLB, NCAA football, UFC, and the NFL. Click the link in the description if you're interested in signing up and also to join our free email list. Get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Stump the Spread is starting a $100 to $10,000 challenge that is going to be tracked through those emails, so get on the list so you don't miss out on how the challenge is going. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today, and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We are committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into our first game of the day. We've got the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. This is going to be the only day game of the day, guys. The Nationals come into this one losers of 4 in a row. They lost the first game of this series 7-6, so definitely a little bit of a tough one there. The Cubs probably playing in desperation mode, trying to, stave off elimination from the postseason, but that's something that's coming for them eventually either way. The Nationals going to be hitting the ball in this one to Trevor Williams, who's 5-0 in the season with a 2.22 ERA. He spent a lot of time on the IL, guys. He was on the 60-day IL with an elbow issue. The last time he pitched was back on May 30th against Atlanta, and he was very, very good and was on track to have a very good season before that injury kind of derailed things. So we'll see what we get from him coming back out there. I'm expecting him to be pretty solid, though. I don't think they'd bring him back here at the end of the year unless they were very, very confident that he was good to go. In terms of their bullpen, Washington has not been good this season, or at least not here at the end of the season. A 4.21 bullpen ERA is not good at all. And the offense, well, they did score 6 runs in their last game. They scored 6, 0, 1, and 1 runs over their last few. Not exactly swinging the hottest bats coming into this game, and they are 23rd in the majors this season in runs scored. So we'll see what they can do here against the Cubs. In this game is in Wrigley Field. The Cubs won game 1, a 7-6 behind a huge night from Bellinger at 78 and 75 on the year. They're clinging to hope here, but yeah, it's looking very, very bleak for the Cubs fans. They're going to be giving the ball to Jameson Taillon in this game, who's 10-8 on the season with a 3.54 ERA. His last start was a very good one at Colorado. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed in a game the Cubs managed to lose there down the stretch, losing 6-5 in 10 innings. Taillon has been absolutely lights out here down the stretch, guys. His last 3 starts have been very, very good, and I'm expecting good stuff from him once again in this game. We'll see how he does against the Nationals. I'm expecting, him to be pretty solid despite it being a team he hasn't faced yet this season. The Cubs bullpen has also been good. No major concerns there. A 3.81 bullpen ERA is not necessarily the peak of where they've been at this season, but it's also not terrible. Coming into this game, the bats have been a little bit cold, but obviously scoring 7 runs in their last game has to feel good. 7, 3, 3, 9, and 6 over their last few is not a disaster. And this team all season long been slightly above average at the plate, 10th in on-base percentage, 12th in runs scored. I think they've got the stuff to put up some runs, although we'll see how they look here against what could be a very solid pitcher. So looking at the numbers for this game, we've got the Nationals at plus 152, the Cubs at minus 175. We've got an over over-under of 9 in this one. Washington is 32-45 on the road. The Cubs are 39-35 at home. We've got mixed trends here towards the over-under. The Cubs are kind of a significant under team at home, and Washington's a pretty small over team on the road. To be honest, guys, I think under 9 would be the play on the over-under in this game, but really I'm leaning towards the Nationals at plus 152 being the slight value in this game. Overall, I'm not too interested in this one. If you're forcing me to bet it, I guess give me that under, but generally speaking, this is a stay-away spot for me. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Reds. The Pirates come into this game fresh off of a 3-2 win to salvage one win there in that 4-game series they were playing at St. Louis. They're going to be hitting the ball to Mitch Keller in this game, who's 11-10 on the year with a 3.87 ERA. He's coming off a rough start against the Royals, and we can't help but notice that the Pirates are 0-4 over his last 4 starts, so that's not great. And yeah, against the Royals his last time out, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned, so not great stuff there. And going up against the Reds this season, the last time he faced them, it was back-to-back starts in late June, and he looked great in the first start and terrible in the second one, so we'll see what we get out of him in this game. Not necessarily expecting him to be the most locked in here at the end of the season, but I don't think this is really a spot he's necessarily just going to give up. In terms of their bullpen, though, they've probably given up on the season long ago. A 4.67 bullpen ERA is atrocious, one of the worst bullpens in Major League Baseball, and the offense hasn't exactly been killing it lately. I mean, 3, 5, 1, 0, and 4 runs over their last few. This hasn't been a good offensive team all season long. That's the main thing they need to address in the offseason. They're 27th in the majors in slugging percentage and 26th in on-base percentage. So we'll see what they can do here against the Reds, who come into this game not having had the best series against Atlanta. They lost 2 out of 3, and they lost the last game of that series 15-3. They're giving the ball to Nick Martinez, who comes into this game fresh off of a very good outing against the Twins. 6 innings, 3 hits, only a single earned run allowed. Cincinnati's 3-0 over his last 3 starts, and he's been very, very good in those starts. So we'll see what he looks like here going up against the Pirates, a team that he started against back on the 25th of last month. 3 innings, 5 hits, only a single earned run. Obviously a short start, but they've stretched him out now. Seems like he's ready to go deeper into games. So we'll see what he can do here against a pretty light hitting opponent. In terms of their bullpen, the Reds were very, very good at some points this season, but down in the bottom half of the league now with a 4.08 bullpen ERA. And the offense, coming off a game where they scored 3 runs, they've scored 3, 1, 6, 2, and 11 runs over their last few games. Yeah, they're 26th in the majors in batting average and 20th in on-base percentage. Not really the kind of offense that I'm super excited about. So looking at the numbers for this one, we've got the Pirates at plus 102, the Reds at minus 120. We've got an over-under of 9 in this game. The Pirates are 33-41 on the road. The Reds are 37-40 at home. We've got both teams showing trends towards the under here. They're not huge trends, but they definitely exist. The Pirates are 38-34-2 to the under on the road, and the Reds are 38-33-6 to the under at home. Guys, I think this is a pretty good under spot. I'm not super interested in the side on this game. I guess I would probably say give me the Reds in terms of a side, but I think that under 9 is very good value. That's a big number, and I don't think we're going to see a ton of offense in this game from a couple of teams that aren't having the best time here at the end of the season. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Toronto Blue Jays going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Blue Jays come into this game fresh off of winning 1 out of 3 there at the Rangers, and at 73-80 on the year. Yeah, hasn't been the most fun season for them. They're giving the ball to Jose Barrios, who's 16-9 this season with a 3.44 ERA. He's been one of their brightest spots of the year. His last start, he was lights out against the Cardinals, 7 innings, 2 hits, only a single earned run allowed. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his last 5 starts, and Toronto is 5-0 over those starts. So I'm sure they're expecting very, very good stuff from him in this game. I definitely am. I don't think there's any major reason to think he's going to be terrible against Tampa Bay, a team he hasn't faced since back in July, and he didn't have an amazing start against them, but I'm not really expecting the wheels to come off here for Barrios as he tries to finish off a very, very good season. The problem for the Blue Jays pitching staff has been their bullpen. A 4.79 bullpen ERA is, to be honest, guys, hilariously bad. Yeah, way down there with teams like Colorado and the White Sox. So not expecting miracles from the bullpen, but if Barrios can go out there and go 7 plus innings, good things can happen for this team. The offense, 4 runs in the last game, 4, 0, 8, and 3 over their last few. Kind of weird numbers. We've seen good stuff from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. here down the stretch. He just had a 2 home run game. So yeah, they come into this game, I would say, swinging some relatively warm bats, at least for a team that's out of playoff contention pretty much. We'll see what they can do here against Tampa Bay, who comes into this game winners of 2 out of their last 3 there, but at 75-78 on the year. not really the best look. My twin out there did just have a very, very good start, allowing only a single hit over 7 innings of work. So good stuff from Zach Littell in that game. The Rays are going to be handing the ball to Tyler Alexander in this one. He's normally a bullpen guy. He's had the spot start occasionally, but his last 4 appearances have all been out of the pen with some pretty mixed results. They have been long relief appearances, so he maybe has the stamina to go out there and put up some, 5 or so innings, but not expecting miracles from him. This could be a little bit of a rough spot for him. We'll see what he can do here against Toronto, a team that he has decent history against this season, so maybe not lockdown history. I mean, you've got an ERA that's over 5.5. It's not necessarily like you've been an amazing pitcher, but we'll see what he can do out there. Obviously, the Tampa Bay bullpen has been much, much better than Toronto's this season. A 3.74 bullpen ERA is maybe not excellent, but very close to top 10 in the majors, so give them credit there. The problem for this team has been their offense, guys. 2-1-8-0 and 1 runs over their last few games. Not great. They're down to 29th in the majors in runs scored. The only team that they are better than at the plate really is the Chicago White Sox. So not a lot of positive things to say about this offense. And looking at the numbers for this game, guys, we see it's basically a coin flip here. We've got Toronto at -105, the Rays at -108. We've got an over-under of 8 in this game. Toronto 34-43 on the road, so not a great road team. And Tampa Bay just a hair under 500 at home. We've got mixed trends here towards the over-under. And with an over-under of 8 and these two guys on the mound, I'm not super interested in that, to be honest. I would maybe shade a little bit towards the over, but guys, I think this is a pretty good spot for Toronto on the road. You're getting Berrios at only -105. I know their bullpen can be a little bit shaky, but Toronto has the better offense. They're putting the better starting pitcher out there on the mound. Go ahead and give me the Blue Jays in this one. It's got a very good shot to end up in the pinned comment. Hey guys, jumping in here with a quick ad break. First of all, this is a great time to sign up at stumpthespread.com. Signing up for a premium membership gets you access to our entire team of cappers covering MLB, NCAA football, UFC, and the NFL. If you just want to test out the service, a great way to do that is by joining our free email list, which will get you the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Just go ahead and click that link in the description. It'll take you right over to stumpthespread.com. Also, guys, just to clarify some of the questions we've been getting in the emails and in the comments, I am not the MLB capper for stumpthespread.com. These YouTube picks are obviously free to everyone and are just what I am seeing out there. We have an expert with nearly 15 years of experience that covers MLB and has a very strong algorithm and some very cool tools that he uses to bring our premium members the best picks possible. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new. Now back to the games. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Detroit Tigers going on the road here to take on the Baltimore Orioles. Detroit is battling it out right there in the mix for that wild card spot in the American League. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 5 out of their last 6 overall. They're giving the ball in this one to Keter Montero, who's 6-6 this season with a 4.60 ERA. His last start was against Baltimore, and the dude was lights out. 5 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed. He hasn't given up a run over either of his last 2 starts, so we'll see if he's got another good outing in him against Baltimore. Looking at the Detroit bullpen, it's been very good down the stretch. They're currently 5th in the majors with a 3.56 bullpen ERA, so excellent stuff there, and the offense has been getting it done as well, guys. 4, 3, 7, 4, and 2 runs over their last few games. They just had a series at home against Baltimore where they won 2 out of 3, so yeah, this could be another big series here for the Tigers. The offense hasn't been amazing over the course of the year, but here at the end of the season, we've seen Riley Green and Colt Keith kind of figuring things out for them, so yeah, expecting them to probably be able to score some runs here going up against Baltimore, who comes into this game not having the best time. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They did just get a 5-3 win over San Francisco in the 3rd game of that series to salvage 1 game, but this is not looking like the dominant team from early in the season. They're going to be giving the ball to Corbin Burns in this one. He's 14-8 on the year with a 3.06 ERA. His last start was at Detroit, guys, and he was lights out. 7 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs allowed. He struck out 7 and walked 1 in a 4-2 win for Baltimore. So they'll definitely take that. They're going to be leaning on him pretty hard in this game, hoping that he can, figure things out and come through for him again. In terms of their bullpen, though, things have been very problematic for Baltimore. A 4.14 bullpen ERA, not exactly what you're looking for. And the biggest problem, guys, has been this offense has disappeared. They scored 5, 3, 0, 2, 4, and 0 runs over their last few games. That is not going to work. They're now 4 games back of the Yankees there in the AL East. They are, they're in good shape. They're going to be fine. They've still got a big cushion there in the wild card race, but still not playing the way you want to be playing at the end of the year. So we'll see what happens for them at the plate in this game. And looking at the numbers, we've got the Orioles as huge favorites at -196. The Tigers are +164. We've got an over-under of 7.5 in this game. Detroit is 41-37 on the road. Baltimore is 42-35 at home. So those kind of cancel each other out a little bit. And we've got both teams showing trends towards the over. over pretty significant trends, but with these two guys on the mound, do I really think we're going to see 8 runs scored in this game? That seems a bit rough. Overall, guys, this game, I don't have enough confidence either way to really take a side, but the fact that I don't have enough confidence kind of makes me want to lean towards the underdog in this one. Detroit at plus 164 in a game that I kind of feel like is a coin flip definitely seems like some decent value. So go ahead and give me the Tigers plus 164 in this one, but is it going in the pinned comment? Seems like a little bit of a stretch to me. Moving right along here through these games, guys, we got the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Braves came through for us yesterday with a big blowout 15-3 win. They are 83-70 on the year. They're trying to make a pretty solid case for themselves as a competitor there in the National League wildcard race, but they've got some ground to make up. They're giving the ball to Charlie Morton in this one, who's 8-8 on the season with a 4.01 ERA. He comes into this game fresh off of another very good start. He went 6 dominant innings against the Dodgers, giving up only a single earned run on 3 hits and striking out 6. So very, very good stuff there. It was not his fault. Atlanta eventually took the 9-2 loss. Start before that, he was dominant against the Reds, giving up only a single earned run over 6 2/3 innings in a 1-0 loss there for Atlanta. So he's been doing everything he can to keep them in these games. Atlanta fans have to be hoping he's got another good start against Miami in him. The last time he faced them was back on August 1st. He went 6 innings, gave up only a single run that wasn't even earned in a 4-2 win there for the Atlanta Braves. So we'll see what he can do in this one. I'm expecting good things, and I'm always expecting good stuff from that Atlanta bullpen. They're third in the majors with a 3.34 bullpen ERA, and they've been up there among the better bullpens in the majors all season long. The offense has been the concern, but guys, they've scored 15, 7, 5, and 0 runs over their last few games, so you can tell they're swinging some hotter bats. We've seen Ozuna doing some good things. They're up to 12th in the majors in slugging percentage and 16th in runs scored. I think this offense is definitely pointed in the right direction right now. So we'll see what they can do against the Marlins, who come into this game fresh off of losing 20-4 against the Dodgers. Pretty crazy stuff. Ohtani had 3 home runs and 10 RBIs in that game, made it into the 50-50 club. So very cool stuff there, but not really for the Marlins. They're giving the ball to Volante Milazzo, who's 2-4 this year with a 3.70 ERA. His last start was at Washington. He didn't have a great time. 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, including 2 home runs surrendered in that game. And over his last 5 starts, guys, he's given up a total of 9 home runs. Not necessarily the best look there. He's not throwing the ball great at the moment. The last time he faced Atlanta was back in early August, and he was fine, but it was a 5-3 loss in that game. So, yeah, not expecting miracles from him or from that Marlins bullpen. It's been bad here down the stretch. A 4.23 bullpen ERA is not very good, and the offense, not maybe completely absent, but not great. 4, 4, 11, 3, and 1 runs over their last few games. 28th in the majors in runs scored and 29th in on-base percentage. So, looking at the numbers of this game, it's no major shock to see the Braves at minus 186, the Marlins at plus 156. We got an over-under of 8.5 in this game. Atlanta is 40-37 on the road. The Marlins are 29-48 at home, so a pretty bad home team, and they're also the biggest over team in the majors when playing at home. But guys, I'm not really interested in the over 8.5 in this game. I'm more interested in just going ahead and taking Atlanta to win this game straight up, or you could probably talk me into Atlanta at minus 1.5 in this game. If you take a minus 1.5, you can get him down to minus 120, minus 118, somewhere in that range, and that seems pretty reasonable for me, especially going up against a Marlins team that definitely just playing out the end of a very wasted season. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Twins come into this game fresh off of a very tough 3-2 loss against Cleveland. They lost 3 out of 4 in that series to fall to 8.5 games back there in the AL Central. They're 80-73 on the year, really just trying to keep themselves in the mix there in the the wild card race, but they're having a hard time. They're right there right now, but it has not been great. They've lost 6 out of their last 10 games. They're giving the ball to David Festa in this one. He's 2-6 on the season with a 5.07 ERA. His last start was against Cincinnati, and it was a very short one. 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 4, and walks, just control in general, have been a big problem for him down the stretch. He has not been having a very good time on the mound, even against some pretty weak hitting opponents. So we'll see what he can do here against the Red Sox. They've been all over the place lately, so yeah, we'll see. It's not a team that he's faced before. The Twins bullpen has not been very good down the stretch either. A 4.12 bullpen ERA is obviously not ideal, not nearly as good as they were at other points this year, and the offense has really deserted them. 2, 4, 4, 3, and 9 runs over their last few games. They're still 11th in the majors in runs scored and 9th in batting average, but all of these big offensive numbers, guys, are headed downwards, and they're headed downwards pretty aggressively. So yeah, worried with what we're seeing from the Twins right now as they go up against the Boston Red Sox, who Also not a squad that's having a good time. They just got pretty much dominated there by my twin brother, Zach Littell. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games, and at 76 and 77 on the year, it's starting to look like their season is pretty much over with. They're giving the ball in this one to Richard Fitz. He comes into this game looking to make his 3rd appearance so far, and he has yet to give up an earned run, so pretty impressive stuff out of the 24-year-old so far. We'll see what he can get done against what has to be a desperate Twins team. I mean, his last start was at the Yankees, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed in a 5-4 loss there for Boston. So, kind of expecting good things from him in this game, to be honest. Not expecting good stuff from that Boston bullpen. They are 25th in the majors with a 4.54 bullpen ERA, so just barely better than the Pirates bullpen. Kind of embarrassing to be that far down there, and even more embarrassing has been the a complete, utter just departure of this offense. They've scored 0, 2, 3, 2, 7, and 4 runs over their last few games. The bats are gone for Boston. It's been just falling off a cliff here. They're down to 10th in the majors in runs scored. They're still 5th in batting average and 9th in on-base percentage, but all of these numbers are headed straight down right now. This is not a team that's playing well here at the end of the season. So, looking at the numbers for this game, we've got the Twins at -126, the Red Sox at +108. We've got an over-under of 9 in this game. Minnesota is 38 and 39 on the road. No trends there on the over-under for them. Boston, 35 and 40 at home. They haven't been good at Fenway all season long, and really no trends towards the over-under for them in this game either. Guys, this is pretty much a toss-up to me. I mean, Minnesota at -126 with Festa on the mound seems a little bit sketchy the way he's been throwing the ball, but the Red Sox can't hit right now, and I mean, we've seen Richard Fitz be very good out there, so I guess maybe give me a taste of the Red Sox at +108 playing at home in this game, but this is really not a spot that I have much of a lean on at all. Next up, guys, we get the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Phillies come into this game fresh off of a 10-6 loss in Game 1 against the Mets. They're going to be giving the ball in this one to Christopher Sanchez. He's 10 and 9 on the year with a 3.24 ERA. His last start was very good against the Mets. 7 innings, 6 hits, only a single earned run allowed in what was a 2-1, very close, very low scoring win there for the Phillies. The Phillies bullpen has been much, much better here down the stretch. Now in the top half of the league with a 3.87 bullpen ERA. Much, much better than they were looking for a while. It was looking like this bullpen was so bad it was going to kind of tank the Phillies' entire season, but right now things are looking pretty good in Philadelphia, guys. I mean, they've lost their last 2 in a row, but they've still got a 6-game cushion there in the NL East. Need to figure something out in the last couple games of this series, but I don't think they should be too scared here. The offense, obviously, coming in with 6 runs in Game 1 and still losing is a little bit problematic, but overall, guys, this team is very, very good. They're top 5 in runs scored, top 4 in batting average. Like, they are going to figure it out up there at the plate, and we'll see what they can get done here in Game 2 against a Mets team that's playing really, really well right now. They've won 4 in a row to get to 85 and 68 on the year. They're still 6 games back of the Phillies, but they're definitely, handling business right now in that wild card situation. They're only 2 games back of the Padres for the top wild card spot in the National League. They're going to be giving the ball to David Peterson in this game, who is 9 and 2 on the year with a 2.85 ERA. His last start was against the Phillies, and he was very good. 7 2/3 innings, 4 hits, only a single earned run allowed. He struck out 6 in that game, so very, very good stuff there. And the Mets bullpen, well, not dominant necessarily, has been headed in the right direction as well. They're right there with the Phillies with a 3.93 bullpen ERA, and the offense for the Mets has been looking much better than what the Phillies have had going on lately. The Mets have scored 10, 2, and 1 run over their last few games. Pretty dominant stuff. They did have an 11-run game against the Phillies in their last series against the Phillies, so yeah, expecting good stuff from them right now at the plate, no doubt about it. They're 6th in the majors in runs scored, 11th in batting average. This is a team that can definitely score some runs, but can they do it here against a guy that's dominated them in Christopher Sanchez? So, looking at the numbers for this game, we've got the Phillies at -116, the Mets at -102. We've got over-unders out there of 7.5 or 7. The Phillies are 38 and 35 on the road. The Mets are 43 and 33 at home. We've got both teams showing some very small trends towards the over here, and I think you could make a case for taking over 7 in this game, theoretically. I mean, it seems a bit tough, though, with these 2 guys on the mound. In terms of a side, I am leaning a bit towards the Mets here playing at home, but it's not a very big lean. This should be a very, very close, very, very competitive game. We'll see what happens out there. A lot is going to be determined by these starting pitchers, and we've really only seen Sanchez have success this season going up against the Mets. And in terms of Peterson, guys, we've pretty much only seen good stuff from him going up against the Phillies. He's only got that 1 start. It was his last start, and he was excellent out there. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the Mets -102 as a tiny lean, but mostly staying away from this game. Next up, we're looking at the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Mariners come into this game fresh off of winning 2-3 against the Yankees in Game 3 of that series, but they only won one game in that 3-game series, and they're now 5 games back of Houston in the AL West. They're going to be giving the ball to George Kirby, who's 12-11 this year with a 3.62 ERA. His last start, he was absolutely dominant against the Rangers, guys. 7 innings, only a single hit allowed, and 3 strikeouts, giving up 0 runs in that game. So we'll see if he can run it back, see if he can pull out another dominant performance against a pretty weak hitting team. The question really, I mean, aside from that Seattle bullpen, which has been very, very good, is can the Seattle Mariners put up any runs? They've scored 3, 1, 2, 7, 5, and 5 runs over their last few games. They did just have a very successful series against the Rangers, winning 3 out of 4, so they're going to be trying pretty hard to replicate that. The Rangers, they're coming into this game. They are, 73-80 on the year. Their season feels like it's pretty much over. They just won 2 out of 3 against Toronto, so I guess that's something positive. They're going to be giving the ball to Jacob deGrom in this game. He has made 1 start so far this season, and he did not have an amazing time against Seattle. 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks, but yeah, couldn't go super deep into the game, / wasn't allowed to go super deep into the game, which makes sense, obviously, especially in the end of what is effectively a season that's over for them, and it was a 5-4 loss there for the Rangers, so we'll see what they can do in this one. Their bullpen, obviously not very good. A 4.52 bullpen ERA is really, really weak, and the offense hasn't been that bad recently. I mean, they got shut out in their last game, but 0-2-13, 0-4-4 over their last few is not great, and over the course of the year, this has been a pretty weak offensive team. So looking at the numbers for this game, we've got the Mariners at -102, the Rangers at -116. We've got an over-under showing of 7.5 or 7. Seattle, not a great road team, 32-43 on the road. The Rangers are actually good at home. They're 43-34 at home. We've got mixed trends here towards the over-under. Seattle's actually a big over team on the road, and the Rangers are a big under team at home, and with over-unders out there of 7.5 or 7, not really too interested in that, guys. I'm more looking towards the side in this game, and I think I have to side slightly towards the Mariners at -102, despite the fact they're playing on the road. I do think we could see deGrom be good in 4, maybe 5 innings, but then you've got that Rangers bullpen out there for a long time, and that's a pretty bad unit even going up against a team like the Mariners. So yeah, go ahead and give me the Mariners on the road in this one, but not the biggest of leans. Next up, guys, we've got the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. The Angels come into this game fresh off of a 3-1 loss at Houston in Game 1 of this series. Their year is pretty much over, just playing out the end of the string. They're giving the ball to Tyler Anderson, who's 10-13 on the year with a 3.60 ERA. His last start was against Houston, and he did not have a good time. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs allowed. Just not, wasn't able to get him out in that game, and yeah, if he's not going to have a good night, do we really think the bullpen's going to be able to pick things up? I mean, the Angels bullpen has been much better down the stretch. A 3.82 ERA coming out of the pen is much better than it was at other points this season, but I don't really trust Tyler Anderson out there in this particular matchup. Obviously, he had a very, very rough time against the Astros the last time he faced them, and the time before that he faced them back in May, it was when he was just killing it out there. He did still give up 6 hits and an earned run. He went 7 innings in that game, so I'm not or 8 innings in that game. I'm not trying to say it was a bad start, but they could have gotten to him if they would have bunched those hits up. So we'll see what they can do against him here. In terms of their bullpen, we just covered that. The Angels pretty decent here down the stretch, but the offense looking really bad. 1-4-5-4-4-3-3-4. Just not a very good offensive team. 27th in the majors in runs scored and 29th in slugging percentage. So we'll see what they can do here against the Astros, who are now first in the AL West with a 5-game cushion. So looking very, very good there. They're giving the ball to Justin Verlander, who's 4-6 this year with a 5.20 ERA. His last start was against the Angels. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. I guess a little bit better of a performance, but man, he's got to be trying to make a case here to be in the postseason rotation, and right now it's looking very, very unlikely to me. A lot of better arms out there for the Astros than him, so definitely a high motivation spot here for Verlander. We'll see what he can do. Honestly, I think he could be an interesting bullpen guy in the postseason, but that could also maybe be insulting to him or something. I don't know. He's 41 years old. Seems like you're kind of at a point in your career where you got to take what you can get. Speaking of the bullpen here for the Astros, they've been excellent down the stretch. A 3.52 bullpen ERA is obviously dominant, and while the offense hasn't been killing it lately, 3-0-4-1, 6, 5, and 5 runs over their last few games. Yeah, they're still 13th in the majors in runs scored and 3rd in batting average. So I'm expecting good stuff from them in this game. Looking at the numbers, we've got the Angels at +188, the Astros at -225, and we've got an over-under of 8.5 in this one. The Angels are 30-44 on the road. Houston is 42-32 at home. We've got both teams showing trends towards the under. Not really interested in the under in this game, although you can make a case for it for sure. I'm not even that interested in the side, to be honest. That's way too steep of a price for the Astros and Verlander, and I'm definitely not taking a -1.5. I guess, guys, that leaves us just with the Angels at +188 as a very small lean, under the impression that Tyler Anderson could bounce back and have a good start in this game. But yeah, guys, late in the season, it can be tough to find good spots, and this is another one that I'm most likely going to be passing on. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Diamondbacks come into this game fresh off of a nice win. Everybody that commented down below on the Thursday Night Football game asking me who I liked in MLB, I told them the Diamondbacks, and they came through for us with a 5-1 win. Arizona fighting for their life in the wild card race, guys. They are right there in that whole mess in the National League. They're going to be giving the ball to Zach Gallen in this game, who's 12-6 on the year with a 3.61 ERA. His last start was against the Brewers, and he wasn't amazing. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, including a home run in that one. So not necessarily his best stuff, but he kept his team in the game, and they eventually won 11-10 in extra innings in an absolute thriller. So we'll see what he can do here against Milwaukee. The bullpen for Arizona has been maybe a little bit better down the stretch, but a 4.44 bullpen ERA is obviously not exactly what you want to see. The offense is what carries this team, guys. 5, 9, 2, 2, 11, 8. Like, this is a team that can put up some big crooked numbers, and they can put them up in a hurry. They're first in the majors in runs scored, second in batting average, first in on-base percentage, and first in slugging percentage. This Diamondbacks team can absolutely kill it up there at the plate, guys. It is pretty crazy stuff. So we'll see what they can do here against Milwaukee in Game 2 of this series. The Brewers, they've got things all locked up pretty much in the NL Central, and just in general, I mean, 88-65 on the year. It was a big letdown spot for them yesterday, so not too shocked to see them come out and lay a bit of an egg. We'll see if they can bounce back today under Colin Ray. I mean, he's 12-5 on the year with a 4.14 ERA. His last start was against the Phillies, and he only went 2 2/3 innings, and it wasn't even a start. He came out of the bullpen. I can't remember exactly why that happened. I would assume it has something to do with the fact he got absolutely dismantled by San Francisco in his start back on 9/11. So yeah, we'll see how Ray does here. I mean, I'm not necessarily expecting miracles from anybody going up against the Diamondbacks, a team that he has not faced yet this season. So a little bit worried about Colin Ray here, especially late in the year. That ERA number is definitely ballooning a bit. And yeah, guys, we do feel good about the Milwaukee bullpen, a 3.17 bullpen ERA, obviously one of the best in the major leagues. But are they going to be able to get to that bullpen? And really, how motivated is this team going to be down the stretch? I know they've been good at the plate this year, 4th in runs scored, 8th in batting average, but they haven't been quite as good since losing Yelich, and they haven't been hitting the ball incredibly well here down the stretch. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but I'm a little bit worried about them. And looking at the numbers for this game, we've got the Diamondbacks at -136, the Brewers at +116. We've got an over-under of 8.5 in this game. Arizona is 42-35 on the road. Milwaukee is 44-30 at home. We've got both teams showing trends towards the over here, guys, and I do really like that over of 8.5. I mean, Arizona 41-32-4 to the over on the road, and Milwaukee 38-28-8 to the over at home. So go ahead and give me over 8.5 in this game, but I also think the Diamondbacks at -136 are some very solid value. So one of these plays very likely to end up in there. I'm thinking it'll be the Diamondbacks -136, but honestly, guys, there's a real chance we could end up on both of those plays being in the pinned comment. I like them both quite a bit. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Kansas City Royals. The Giants come into this game winners of 2 out of their last 3 in that series at Camden Yards. At 74-79 on the year, though, they are starting to run out of steam, starting to run out of things to, compete for. They've actually been eliminated now from playoff contention. So, yeah, not a lot of happy stuff here for the Giants. So, giving the ball to Mason Black, who's 0-4 on the year with a 7.07 ERA. His last start, I guess it was okay. 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and a home run over 4 innings. In an 8-0 loss there to the Padres. So yeah, it doesn't seem like he's having a great time at the end of the year, and the Giants bullpen really hasn't been great this season. A 4.01 ERA coming out of the pen, definitely not ideal. They did hit the ball relatively well in that series against Baltimore. I mean, 3, 5, and 10 runs respectively is not bad, but yeah, 18th in the majors in runs scored, 20th in the majors in batting average, and now you've got a season that's effectively over. Probably doesn't give a huge boost there to the confidence levels and the motivation levels. So we'll see what they can pull out blowout here going up against the Royals, who have to be in desperation mode, fresh off of a 4th straight loss. They got swept in a 3-game series against Detroit, so that can't feel very good. And yeah, they're fighting for their life right now in that playoff race in the American League. And I mean, they're right there in the mix, so they've definitely, have a great chance here down the stretch. But man, it is a battle out there. They're giving the ball to Michael Wacha in this game, who's 13-7 on the earth, a 3.29 ERA. His last start was against the Pirates. 5 innings, 4 hits, only a single earned run allowed in a 5-1 win there for the Royals. And he's been pitching really well, very, very good in 4 out of his last 5 starts, including a great start against Minnesota. So yeah, generally speaking, we are very excited with what we've seen from Michael Wacha this season and lately here. So yeah, expecting good stuff from him. Definitely not expecting miracles from that Royals bullpen. A 4.36 bullpen ERA, maybe just a little bit hair better than they've been down the stretch, but definitely not a bullpen that I am in love with. And the offense, guys, it has disappeared once again. 2, 1, 6, 3, and 5 runs over their last few games. Bobby Witt Jr. absolutely killing himself to try and, keep this offense above water, but they're down to 9th in the majors in runs scored, 15th in the majors in on-base percentage. This can't just be a one-man show. Bobby Witt Jr. needs some help out there. So we'll see what the offense can do in this game. Not like they're going up against the toughest pitcher, and we've got the Giants at plus 138, the Royals at minus 164. We've got an over-under of 8.5 in this game. The Giants are only 33-40 on the road. The Royals are 45-33 at home. We've got mixed trends towards the over-under here, with the Royals being the best over team when playing on the road in the MLB. So 42-27-4 to the over on the road. But the Royals are a slight under team at home, and I'm not in love with how either team's really swinging the bats right now. So not super interested in that over-under. Although if you're determined to play it, I guess go ahead and give me over 8.5. But guys, I think the real value in this game is on the Royals at minus 164, or even taking them minus 1.5. If you take the Royals minus 1.5 in this game, you can get them at around plus 130, plus 128, something like that. So that seems like a reasonable spot to me as well. Go ahead and give me the Royals though at minus 164. I don't think we're getting greedy out there on this Friday. I think they win this game behind a very solid start from Wacha. Next up, guys, we've got the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Guardians just clinched a playoff berth, so they have to be pretty stoked about that. Clinching a playoff berth that they walk-off win has to feel pretty incredible. They've won 5 out of their last 6 overall to move to 89-65 on the year. They're going to be giving the ball to Ben Lively in this game. He's 12-9 on the season with a 3.87 ERA. His last start was against Tampa Bay, and he was lights out. 5 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs allowed, so very, very good stuff. A nice bounce back from a weirdly short start there against the Chicago White Sox. Generally speaking, we've been very happy with what Lively has done this season, but he's only recently out of a weird slump where he had bad starts in 3 straight appearances. So we'll see what he can do here against the Cardinals. I'm expecting him to be at least decent out there, but it's kind of a big letdown spot after clinching that playoff berth. So we'll see how he does. We'll see how this dominant bullpen does out there. The Cleveland's been the best bullpen in the majors all season long. The offense is kind of where the questions arise for this team. I mean, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, and 6 runs over their last few games. Not exactly killing it. We saw their leadoff hitter just go to the injury list again, so that's a little bit of questionable news. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored and 18th in on-base percentage. They're 21st, hitting only .238 as a team, so not necessarily a squad that I would put down as elite at the plate. So we'll see what goes on in this game against the Cardinals, who come into this game winners of 3 out of their last 4 against the Pirates, so that's got to feel pretty good, but this is a team that's pretty much just playing for, basically playing for pride here at this point. Technically not yet eliminated from the National League wildcard hunt, but things are looking extremely bleak. They're giving the ball to Kyle Gibson in this one, who's 8-7 on the year with a 4.11 ERA. His last start was at Toronto, not very good, a big letdown after back-to-back very, very solid starts, a good start at Yankee Stadium, and a good start against the Seattle Mariners. We'll see what he looks like here going up against the Cleveland team that just clinched. So yeah, that could definitely come into play here. Looking at the Cardinals bullpen, it's been elite down the stretch, guys. The top 6 or 7 in the majors with a 3.60 bullpen ERA. So that's something nice for the Cardinals to build around for next season. The offense looked decent in that series against the Pirates. Obviously, only coming up with 2 runs there in the last game of the series isn't great, but generally speaking, the offense may be coming around here a little bit at the end of the year. But yeah, a down season from Goldschmidt, a down season from Arenado definitely shot the Cardinals in the foot a little bit. But guys, looking at the numbers for this game, we've got the Guardians at minus 102, the Cardinals at minus 116. We've got an over-under of 8.5 in this one. Cleveland is 41-37 on the road. The Cardinals are 41-35 at home, so a very good home team. We've got both teams showing some trends towards the under here. Cleveland 43-29-6 to the under on the road, and the Cardinals 39-36-1 to the under at home. So if you wanted to take under 8.5, I think I could wrap my head around that. I don't think that's terrible, but guys, I really like the Cardinals at minus 116 in this spot. I think this is a great opportunity where they're going to take advantage of a team that just clinched and isn't going to be playing very hard. And while the Cardinals still aren't technically eliminated, I think their motivation level is going to be pretty high. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road here to take on the San Diego Padres. The White Sox coming to this game fresh off of a close 4-3 loss there at the Angels. Seemed like that little 3-game winning streak was just a bit of a flash in the pan. No shock there. The White Sox, worst team in the majors, are going to be hitting the ball to Garrett Crochet in this game, who's 6-12 on the year with a 3.78 ERA. His last start against the Oakland A's was not too bad. 4 innings, 3 hits, only a single earned run allowed, but they are really throttling down his pitch count, his innings load, all that kind of stuff. Not looking to waste him in one of the historically worst seasons in Major League history. We'll see what he can do here against the Padres, but I'm not expecting him to be out there very long or to be very good when he is out there, and this White Sox bullpen is one of the absolute worst in the majors. So not expecting great things from the pitching staff, and always expecting terrible things from this offense that's last in basically every major category. Last in runs scored, last in on-base percentage, and last in slugging percentage. Just not a lot of positive stuff to say. I mean, they've scored 0 and 3 runs over their last couple games. Seems like that little surge is definitely over with. So yeah, going up against the Padres in this game, who come into this one winners of 2 out of their last 3. They've been playing really well down the stretch to get to 87 and 66 on the year. They are right there leading the way in the National League wildcard race, so they're looking to hold on to that absolutely right now. They're going to be giving the ball to Joe Musgrave, who's 6-5 on the year with a 4.23 ERA. His last start, he was dominant against the San Francisco Giants, a huge bounce back. He got shelled by them on the 8th, then went against them again on the 14th and was dominant. 6 innings, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, no walks. Absolute domination there, and an 8-0 win for the Padres. So got to be expecting decent stuff from him in this game, going up against one of the worst offenses in Major League Baseball. Feels like one of the worst offenses in history. So yeah, expecting good stuff from Joe Musgrove and good stuff from this Padres bullpen that's remade itself here in the second half of the season. Definitely in the top half of the league with a 3.77 bullpen ERA. Don't think there's any major reasons to be terrified about this Padres bullpen anymore. And the offense has been pretty good. 4, 3, 3, 4, and 8 runs over their last few games. Definitely an offense that is capable of more than that. I mean, they're first in the majors in batting average, 8th in the majors in runs scored. They're getting on base at a 327 clip. That's 5th in the majors, and they are 7th in the majors in slugging percentage. All around a very good offensive team. So we'll see what they can do in this one. I'm expecting good stuff. No shocker here to see the White Sox as big underdogs at plus 194. The Padres are minus 235. We've got an over-under of 7 in this game. Guys, I think this is a pretty good spot to jump on the Padres. Obviously, we're not like super in love with the price here, but if you take them at minus 1.5, you get them all the way down to minus 105. That is a price we are thrilled about. That's definitely going in the pinned comment. I think we're going to see the Padres win this comfortably. If they don't take advantage of Crochet, which is definitely a possibility, guys, they are going to dominate that White Sox bullpen. Go ahead and give me the Padres minus 1.5 at minus 105. This one is going straight into the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Oakland A's. The Yankees look like they're pretty much going to lock up the AL East there. That 2-1 series win there over Seattle definitely helped, and at 89 and 64 on the year, they've got a 4-game lead over Baltimore. Soto, after running into the wall, definitely not something Yankees fans or management or his teammates want to see him doing. Gonna have to get x-rays. That's pretty sketchy there. We'll see if he plays in this game. Seems unlikely. I don't know why they would push it at this point, guys. The Yankees are going to be giving the ball to Garrett Cole in this game, who's 6-5 with a 3.97 ERA. His last start, he got absolutely shelled by the Red Sox, a team that always seems to give him trouble. 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 7 earned runs in that one, but he had come into that game playing great, throwing the ball really well. So definitely something the Yankees need to see from him as a bounce back here, headed into getting very close to postseason play. He hasn't faced Oakland yet this season. He hasn't been out there all season. So yeah, we'll see what we get from Cole in this one. I'm expecting pretty good stuff. Definitely a good bounce back spot for him, and he's been good in bounce back spots this season. The Yankees bullpen is also very serviceable, guys. Easily top 10. I think they're top 7 in the majors right now with a 3.65 bullpen ERA. In the offense, obviously they'll be missing Soto for sure. They had a decent offensive series there against Seattle, mostly carried by that 11-run outburst in Game 1. They've been swinging the bats okay down the stretch. Judge seems like he's getting back on track a little bit here. I mean, 53 home runs. What more can you really ask from the guy? They're 3rd in the majors in runs scored, 2nd in on-base percentage. This is one of the most potent offenses in Major League Baseball. even probably without Soto. So we'll see how things look in terms of that injury news right now, guys. Their opponent in this game, the Oakland A's, has been eliminated from playoff contention for quite a while. They did just win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. They're giving the ball to JT again in this game, who's 0-1 on the year with a 4.94 ERA. He got rocked by the Chicago White Sox his last time out, which is not a great look. The dude's only 25. I don't expect him to be lights out every time he takes the mound, but giving up 10 hits over 4 innings to the White Sox, that is not a good look. Definitely doesn't build a lot of confidence here when you're about to take on the Yankees. The A's bullpen has been decent this season, but not so decent down the stretch. I mean, they haven't been terrible. A 3.89 bullpen ERA, definitely not the end of the world. The offense has been okay. 5, 4, 2, 3, and 6 runs over their last few. They did just lose 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, though, guys. That's not a great look. So we'll see what they can get done out here. They're 26th in the majors in runs scored, so I'm not expecting miracles, especially going up against the Yankees, who are a MLB best 47-30 on the road. Oakland's only 36-39 at home. We got teams showing mixed trends towards the over/under here with an over/under of 8. I'm not really super interested in that. I would lean towards the Yankees probably at -198 to win this game, but not a spot that I'm necessarily in love with for a Yankees team that's going to be banged up and kind of in cruise control. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. The Rockies come into this game fresh off of losing 2 out of 3 to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and at 59-94 on the year, not having the best time. They're giving the ball to Kyle Freeland in this one, who's 5-7 on the year with a 4.89 ERA. His last few starts have definitely been serviceable, and we see the Rockies are 3-1 over his last 4 outings, so pretty good stuff there. Obviously, going up against the Dodgers can be a tall task. We'll see if he's up for it. He has not faced them yet this season, it doesn't look like. So, yeah, we'll see what he can do. Not expecting miracles. Obviously, I'm expecting the Colorado Rockies bullpen to continue to be horrendously bad. They've been the worst bullpen in Major League Baseball all season long, and the offense has been a bit better, but that's mostly when they're playing at home, guys. They don't usually have a great time playing on the road. Yeah, they're 19th in the majors in runs scored and 17th in batting average, but 25th in on-base percentage. So, yeah, just not expecting miracles from this Rockies offense as they take on the Dodgers, who come into this game fresh off putting up 20 runs against the Marlins. Obviously, it's against the Marlins. We saw Ohtani join the 50-50 club. That's pretty crazy stuff there. They're 2nd in the majors in runs scored and 6th in the majors in batting average, so one of the best offenses in Major League Baseball. But like we were saying, guys, no confirmed starting pitcher for this game, so we don't really know how seriously they're even going to be taking this one. I mean, they're 7th in the majors in bullpen ERA, so maybe, this is a bullpen start for them, and that's not a huge concern. The bookmakers are not worried about this at all. They've got the Dodgers as massive favorites at -260. We've got the Rockies at +215. We got an over/under of 9 in this game. Guys, I don't have much of a read on this one. If you're forcing me to bet it, I think the value is probably on the Rockies at +215. But yeah, I'm pretty much staying away. You could also talk me into over 9, I suppose, but I kind of think this is going to be a letdown spot for the Dodgers where they don't really care too much about this game after all the celebration, all the fanfare, and all the runs they put up yesterday. So yeah, we'll see what happens. They did just fly from Miami back home to LA, so that's quite the flight. We'll see what happens in this game. Mostly a stay away spot for me, but I'm leaning slightly towards the Colorado Rockies. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. You can click the link in the description to check out StumpTheSpread.com, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.